Can I tell you my favorite dad joke right now?
Please.
Yes.
Why should you always eat Eggs Benedict off of a hubcap?
Why?
Because there's no place like Chrome for the hollandaise.
Oh. Wow. Clever.
I got the douche chills. Also, that's the intro.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
Bacon is my podcast. Would like to thank GrillYourAssOff.com, DrinkWildBills.com, and Poddex.com. Get 10% off your order with promo code BACON. We'd also like to thank MANSCAPED, where you can get 20% off of your order plus free shipping using the promo code BACONPOD.
Yes.
Check it out. We'd also like to thank all of our listeners on all podcast platforms. Give us those 5-star reviews. Talk to us in the comments. Stay in the conversation with hashtag What's Your Bacon. And thank you to all our patrons over at patreon.com/bacon is my podcast.
Yeah. Hey.
What's up?
Just going through some recording issues again.
Yeah, the updates do that every time.
Yeah. I hate
things.
updates. So we had a nice intro
We did.
just before.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good. It was solid. We talked about my boss wasn't in, so work was a little bit less stressful. Mm-hmm. I had a 3-day weekend, and I hung out with the kids. We talked about Jim, his glasses. Look, he's got glasses.
I got glasses. If you're watching this, I have glasses. If you're listening to this, I have glasses.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he also doesn't spend a lot on his glasses anymore because of Glasses USA.
Yeah,
Not a sponsor,
but
not
could
a sponsor, but could be.
Could be, but they did save me. They literally saved me probably $400,
That's amazing.
which is pretty awesome.
Which is amazing. And you got 2 pairs of glasses.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got 2 pair, prescription, everything, and I clicked off every possible upgrade I could get to. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. So it also makes julienne fries.
it does. It does make julienne fries. Although you got to wear one of those funky gloves when you use them because you don't want to cut.
You don't
want
want to cut
to
your hand.
Don't want to cut your fingers.
No. So today we actually have Lauren from the Beard Owl podcast on. A few weeks ago, we were on her podcast talking about the Food album.
Yes.
By the great and wonderful and fantastic and powerful Weird Al Yankovic.
Yes, he is like Oz.
Yeah, and so she's got a really cool show where her and her brother, they pick a nice, delicious craft beer, and they pair it with Weird Al.
Yeah. Which is a pretty great pairing. If you ask me. I mean, we got
really
to
cool.
pair it. We got to pair it for our episode with her. We paired a couple of beers with the Food album and had a good time talking about it. But just had a great time talking to her, and it was really cool. So we had her on our show, a fun interview with her today that you're about to check out. All things like Weird Al, the podcast, but she's just a crafty, interesting, creative person anyway. Yeah. So it's like she's funny, and then we'll also talk about everything like crocheting
and game shows, karaoke, a lot of fun stuff. So definitely, if you want, hit pause, go check out her podcast with us on it, and then you can come back and listen to this or just listen to it after.
Yeah.
And make sure you give her 5-star
Give her
reviews
5
too,
stars, subscribe. It's definitely
awesome.
It's a fun listen. It's a fun listen. If that's your thing, it's really going to be your thing.
Right.
If
it's not your thing, it's probably still going to be your thing.
Probably still going to be your thing. Yeah.
So we should definitely start that
now.
episode
now.
Right
now. Right now. Now.
I'm trying to
Now. How now, brown cow? Now. Now.
Now.
Now.
I still have the power to just cut it right
I know, you can do it right now.
Now.
Now. So we got a new sponsor.
Yeah, sweet balls, bro.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm pretty sure you can guess by that conversation that our new sponsor is Manscaped.
Yes, Manscaped, a company that I'm very familiar with.
Me too.
A few years now.
Yeah.
I've been using their products, and I tell you what, my marbles have never been shinier.
I actually got their lawnmower 3.0.
Yes,
which it has skin safe technology, and they've just upgraded to the 4.0. And let me tell you, I loved the 3.0, but the 4.0 is just so much better. It's got a light on it. Do I really need a light? Yes, you do.
visual aids.
Yeah,
visual aids
you
are
absolutely
important
do.
sometimes,
For sure.
Sometimes in those crevices, that upper leg, inner crease.
Yes, agreed.
It's a tough spot. So the Perfect Package 4.0 contains the Lawnmower 4.0.
Yes.
But one of the things that I am a big fan of is the Crop Reviver. As
Yes.
they call it. It is they call it the Ball Spray Toner.
Yes. So it's
those marbles.
what else is in the Perfect package as well is the ball deodorant.
Yes,
It's the Crop Preserver. It's an anti-chafing. So when you walk a lot, I don't know about you, but sometimes I get the chafing. I should probably lose weight, but instead I use this.
I'm just a fan. I've always been a fan. I was super excited when you told me that we got the email from them saying that we could now offer a discount to our listeners.
Yes.
I thought that was super cool. So
And men and women can use it too.
absolutely. It's not just a man thing.
So if you want, you can get 20% off.
Yeah,
Your
20%
order
is
now.
a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Pretty awesome.
Use the promo code BACONPOD. You get 20% off at manscaped.com. So go ahead to manscaped.com. Save yourself 20%.
Yeah.
Use the promo code
Bacon Pod.
and make your marbles clean
20%
and
off.
shiny.
Check it out, manscaped.com. Highly recommended and used by your boys here at Bacon Is My Podcast. Like I said, keep those marbles shiny.
Whoop, whoop.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is Jacques Lamour from Pop Punk and Pizza Podcast. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and you've been consuming Bacon Is My Podcast. Or in my case, pizza is my bacon. Or bacon on my pizza, or something like that. But anyway, you've been listening to Bacon Is My Podcast.
Hey, everybody. That was a bad one.
That was great.
That was a
That's a keeper. That's got to stay.
No, of course it's gonna stay.
It's good.
I liked it.
We don't like
Edit.
we don't edit. we just go.
You get what you
Welcome
get.
everybody to Bacon Is My Podcast,
Where you
where
get what you
today you just get what you get, and what we get today is Lauren from the Beard Owl Podcast. What's up, dude?
Hey, dudes.
What's going on?
So, I'm just here. I'm having a beer and I'm excited to talk to you guys because having beers and talking with people are like two of my favorite things, and I get to do them both at the same time.
Yeah, it's pretty excellent. We had such a good time
Yeah.
as guests on the Beard Owl Podcast. We talked about the food album.
Yeah.
That was a fun time. That was a super fun time. We tried some beers on the show, and that was excellent. And now you are gracing us with your presence here on Bacon Is My Podcast. So thank you so much for joining us. It's super fun.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm excited because y'all were like seriously an absolute blast to talk to. When I was going back and editing that episode, I ended up laughing all over again, which
Nice.
is always a good sign to me.
That's a good sign. Yeah.
Always a good sign.
Yeah. What I love about it is, and even if you're not listen, if you're not a big Weird Al fan, go fuck yourself. But you gotta love Weird Al for everything he stands for. We'll get into that. But what you guys are doing is such a cool niche thing. And when it first came up, we were just like, we're gonna be on a Weird Al podcast.
Yeah.
And that is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Because
it got presented and it was like, yes. How can I say yes
Yeah.
faster? I wish yes was less letters.
yeah. So it is.
Yeah.
It is definitely something that everybody's got to definitely check out, because if you dive a little deeper with the whole Weird Al thing, especially with what you feel about him, is his just learning how to be expressive and just be who the fuck you are, and it doesn't matter who it doesn't matter, just be you. And that's freaking awesome.
I'm curious, what was it? because I know for us, when we started this show, it was kind of like, it started as us just kind of having a few drinks and talking to each other, and whatever it was about, it ended up being about. And then we had a couple guests, and it was kind of the same thing. It was like, let's just talk to people and not give them the typical questions, and let's not talk about the typical things like what's your band name? What's this song about? If it's a musician, or what's your workout or diet when it's like a wrestler or someone, all those type of things that they probably answer a million times. But it turned into like figuring out the whole what's your bacon thing as what's the thing in your life that makes it cooler for you, and what's that thing that helps you kind of like enhance your day to day. That came later, and it just kind of became that. When you started like the Beard Out, like what was it that had you go, I'm going to put these are the two things that I love that are coming together, and this is how I'm going to do this?
Yeah. So it was like January of 2020. So it was before the world blew up. My brother lives in Pennsylvania and I live in Florida, but like we talk all the time, like we're on like Google Hangouts like all day just talking to each other. And one day in like January 2020, we're like, we should start a podcast. And John's like, yeah, we should. And I was like, but what about? And I was like, well, I don't know. And he goes, well, we both really like beer. And I'm like, yeah, but there's a ton of beer podcasts out there. I was like, what about Weird Al? And then he like took a beat and he goes, what if both? And we was like, aha.
Yes.
And that was it. And then we kind of went back and forth on trying to find the name for it. And then like Beard Al, because it just like beer and it rhymes.
Yeah, I was going to say that wasn't the first thing that came out, because it sounds, Beard Al, just the name to me sounds like something that one of you just said. It said, yeah, Beard Al podcast. That's what we're doing. And it was like, yep, that's it.
Yep.
That's ultimately how it happened. I mean, I think like our first idea was like weird alcoholics, but we're like, no.
Yeah.
No, we can't do that. And so then we landed on this, and because basically what it boils down to is that when we were kids, Weird Al was the thing that kept me and my brother like tight and together, because we both always loved Weird Al. And then as adults, craft beer was another shared interest that we like always have in common with each other. And so we just decided to marry those two things. And to this day, we've been doing it almost 2 years now. I am completely shocked that people listen to it and like it as much as they do. Because I'm like, really? Because our conversations, it's pretty much just me and my brother like BSing for an hour plus, like mostly on topic, but also mostly not on topic. We're just like having fun. And the fact that it gets the response that it does just speaks to two things: that and this is all Weird Al related, that if you are yourself, people that are like you will flock to you, right?
Mm-hmm,
people that enjoy that will flock to you. And it's the fact that more people want to talk about Weird Al than I ever thought possible.
Yeah, but you know what? Literally, I think everybody has had that Weird Al phase. Like, and the guy's been doing it for 40 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's one of those things where every generation of music, he'll put a little something out, and automatically you get hooked. And the songs that he's done in the past are like time. Anything Michael Jackson, it's all timeless. So I know I definitely went through a major Weird Al
100%
deep dive. I think Bad Hair Day, which is one of your guys' favorite albums.
Yep.
That was the one that I hooked me as well. But yeah, you should, if you weren't in a Weird Al like phase at some point, you're lying to yourself.
Yeah. I also think that people don't think about Weird Al every day.
Right.
So he's one of those topics that
she does.
Well,
I do.
So I think there are probably a number of people that don't realize how much they love Weird Al until they get the opportunity to talk about him and go, oh my God, yes, I love this.
Forgot about this.
Oh my God, I forgot about this. Oh my God. And I think that's also really cool. But I think it really boils down to exactly what you said before, is like if you are yourself and you put yourself out there, the people that are like you and entertained by the same things you're entertained with will find you, and
It's authentic.
and they'll flock, and they'll enjoy it, and they'll.
Yeah, it's the authenticity thing for that. And I do need to like pause and interject for a second, because actually earlier today I was wearing a t-shirt that we had made for our show. I've changed since, because I'm but anyway, we had it made for our show. It's a quote that my brother said on the show once, and it says, "Weird Al is not a phase. Weird Al is a lifestyle."
Nice.
Because I always find myself like mildly like Weird Al triggered when somebody says Weird Al phase, and I was like, no, but you don't understand. Lean into it, like
Own
live
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
live it.
No,
That's fair.
I agree. I agree. Some can say that about bacon, by the way.
Some can say that about it. Well, I can definitely say that before coming on your episode, it had been a little while since I listened to a lot of Weird Al in a row. And then listening to it to come on your show to think about like what we were going to talk about, listening to the Food album, but then also like jumping onto some other stuff and being like, oh, I want to hear this song again. I hadn't thought about this song again. And then since being on your show, it's gotten back into like rotation for me and stuff. So I agree. It may dip here and there, but
yeah.
Yeah. So my work here is done then.
Right,
So
right, exactly.
like my Weird Al evangelism has succeeded with you. And I will tell you this, I guarantee you're probably a little happier than you were before, because you can't be upset listening to Weird Al.
100%.
No, you cannot.
I agree.
You absolutely cannot. Well, actually, so which musicians were there that like they gave him permission? I think it was during the Bad Hair Day like phase. And they just got really upset over the whole thing. Was it Coolio?
Yeah.
Who was just like, he
Coolio
got
upset.
really upset. It's like, man, you'd be kidding me.
I feel like, I think, wasn't it? It was members of Nirvana that said like they knew they made it.
Yeah.
When Weird Al.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like did their music, and they were like, okay, now we've actually made it.
Yeah,
This is where we are
made
now.
it. Yeah.
Seeing Dave Grohl's personality the way it is now, and you know that he was totally nerding out and totally
100%.
excited about it, because he's just got that sense of humor for sure.
So Weird Al for me was one of the first musicians that kind of let me know that it was okay to be funny with music. Like entertaining in that way, because before that it was like, I was your emo dark sad kid. So it was like I need music that gets to the core of me and brings me down and lets me understand my life. And then like you hear Weird Al and you're like, oh, music can be entertaining and fun and funny and tongue in cheek and cool, but like tongue in cheek and fun, but in a way that wasn't like
Playful.
Yeah, more playful than like cheesy. There's like, you look back at a lot of music from like the 80s and stuff, and there's some cheese in there. There's some stuff in there that like is and don't get me wrong, I love it. I never order a burger without cheese. I don't want my music without it either.
Yeah.
But Weird Al kind of was that, okay, you can have entertaining, funny music and videos without it having to be from a comedy movie or from about something specific. It can be someone's plan to make something that's going to make you laugh and be entertaining.
Right.
He was probably the first one for me. Was that the same for you, or was there other musicians that kind of did that?
No, it's the same for me. And honestly, like, because Bad Hair Day was like, it opened the door to a whole world of things. Because after we discovered Bad Hair Day, then we went and we got the Dr. Demento CD compilation for like the 20th, 25th, and 30th anniversary of the Dr. Demento show. So we had all those. So then we like got like Fish Heads by Barnes and Barnes,
Nice.
and like Tom Lear, Poisoning Pigeons in the Park.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff. And the thing with like quote like funny music, right, is it has to be smart. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am not here for silly just for the sake of silly. I'm here for silly that makes you think. So like what you were talking about with, that emo music that, gets to the core of you and makes you like, think about yourself. That's what smart comedy music does for me. Like at my core, I am just like smart comedy music. That's what gets to the core of me. That's where like I feel and do the most thinking,
Mhm.
because some people will like dive into the dark emotions that they're feeling, right? I like to say, no, we're going to bring this cloud of joy in, and like they're still going to be there, but we'll let them battle it out, and maybe you'll find some balance.
Mhm.
And so that's it's a weird analogy, but I'm going to stick with it.
No, it works
No,
actually. It
yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
So that's 100% what Weird Al was, and like always will be for me. So I'll listen to Weird Al when I'm in a good mood. I'll listen to Weird Al when I'm in a bad mood, and I'll listen to Weird Al when I'm like indifferent. And somehow it helps me find the balance, because there's like half of it, like you just kind of check out of it because it's so familiar and comfortable. But the other
Mhm.
half of it is like, pay attention to those words, because there may be something that you missed the first time through that you're going to pick up on a subsequent listen. So it's also the simultaneously like checking out and like really hyper focusing that also helps you kind of forget other things that may be going on.
Yeah.
Is it?
I think anything comedic. I mean, comedy at its heart makes you think.
Right.
That's for me
Mhm.
anyway. That's kind of like great comedy makes you laugh and then go, huh? Hold on a second. Right? Like, I think that like that's what it should do. I think anything funny should absolutely make you do that. And also as a musician, when you're looking at like comedy music too, you gotta bring it.
Oh,
with,
yeah.
with the band and
Mhm.
Weird Al always has stellar musicians,
Yeah.
an amazing band.
Which is awesome, because they've been doing it's the same lineup
Yeah.
Yeah.
for
The 40
Yeah,
years.
some years,
Yeah.
40 years. Yeah.
You know, the only other band I can think of that has that is like U2.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. With like same members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
That's it.
sure
I like-
there's other ones, but those are the two that I can like think of. And if I had the choice to listen to either one, I'm going Weird Al.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. even if they decide to like just download their own songs onto your phone.
Even I would be a lot happier with a Weird Al album stuck on my
Oh,
phone.
that'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I would not be mad about having a Weird Al album, just like forced to my phone.
Right.
You too. I was like, oh, come on. One game I do like to play with myself with you two, though, is remembering everybody's name. Because
Oh, good luck. I know two.
obviously you've got
Yeah,
Bono,
you know
you've
two.
got Bono and the Edge,
Yeah.
and then like I remember the drummer is Larry Mullen Jr. simply because like there's a joke that's like, can you imagine being a drummer named Larry Mullen Jr. in a band with guys named Bono and the Edge? I'm like, yeah, that's funny. And then it took me the bassist is Adam Clayton. And the day that I
Okay.
could remember that without having to look it up, I was like, finally. I don't know why this meant so much to me, but finally I can name all the members of U2 like that.
That's great. Well, you know what? You got to give love to the unsung heroes. Everybody talks about Bono on the Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like-
not necessarily in positive light.
Well, usually the Edge. Bono
Yeah.
gets a lot of douchey stuff. But you know what? U2's great.
The Edge gets
U2's great.
gets shit on for the delay and all
Well,
that
yeah,
stuff
people
from,
say
like, guitar players.
he's not a
Yeah.
good guitar player, but he is. He's-
Well, I mean,
He's very good.
I will say that I love like really, really early U2. Like I like
Mhm.
little Sprite dancing around on the stage Bono. Like I like Live Aid Bono. I like
Yes.
that kind of deal. Like
absolutely.
when he started get like like they U2 has always been a little pretentious, right? Like they've always
Of
been
course.
like
Of
we are
course.
like the opposite of Weird Al. And but I feel like they just kept getting like more and more and more pretentious, and I was like, oh my god, take yourself like a little less seriously. Like the music is good, but just like cool it.
Right,
Cool
right.
Yeah.
it.
Stop coming out and telling us what an impact you're about to make.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I don't know if you guys seen it, but Sing 2, Bono's in Sing 2.
Yes, he is.
Really?
Yeah. He's
Hey, you know what? You can say whatever you want about him, but as a singer, he's pretty phenomenal.
Oh yeah, for
He's
sure.
pretty amazing.
He's
Like I
great.
say,
He's
I've tried to sing a couple of those songs, and
Not easy.
They are not easy.
no.
speaking of singing though,
Mm.
you're
Mm.
you're a karaoke person.
I am a karaoke person. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you have a go-to of your karaoke songs? Now we know you're a huge Matchbox 20 fan.
I am.
And
I did Disease the other day by Matchbox
nice.
20. Yeah. Because that third album of theirs is just great. But I'm also a huge Stevie Nicks fan.
Wow.
Oh, there you go.
To the point that my dog is actually named Belladonna after her
Love it.
first album.
Yep.
So but like my go-to, like if I'm going to a brand new place for karaoke and I'm trying to like feel things out, I'm gonna do Gypsy by Fleetwood Mac.
Mhm.
That's like my go-to brand new place song. But I also like to have fun and do things that people aren't going to expect coming out of like a little, 5'2" like glasses wearing like nerd girl, right?
Right.
So I have done just in the past couple weeks, like I've done Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne.
Nice.
I've done I did Head Over Feet by Alanis Morissette, and then this past weekend I did Aqualung by Jethro Tull.
I can only think of
nice. I think of jazz flute.
The jazz flute. Yeah, that's all I can think of.
Well, here's what ultimately like what happened with this was there's a flock of like 21-year-old girls that like have been coming to this karaoke place, and I'm like because they get up there and they like just want to scream "Don't Stop Believing," and I'm like my eyes are bleeding.
Right. Yeah.
But so I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to do Aqualung. First of all, it's 6 minutes long. They're going to hate it. And there's the line, eyeing little girls with bad intent. And so, like, I got right up in their table and I was like, eyeing little girls with bad intent. And they were like, ugh. I'm like, yeah.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Nice.
That's like totally feeling the room out and going, how do I give them the shivers?
How do I make somebody uncomfortable?
That's see, like with the jukebox question that we asked on the 7 questions, there's 2 frames of thought. There's that I'm going to go in, I'm going to read the room, and I'm going to keep the party going, and keep that vibe up.
Right.
And then there's me who's like, is there enough people that'll be scared when I put something metal on? Yeah. Okay.
How do I kill this vibe?
I love that. I'll do that when I do karaoke too. Like in my bands, I scream a lot. So like I'll sing kind of straight up, and then I'll just pop out a scream and stuff, and people go, "What's that?" And it usually gets people's attention, which is fun.
Oh yeah, well there was a guy this past Friday who did that. Shorty, you're my angel, you're my darling.
Oh yeah.
Shaggy, but
Shaggy.
he did it by himself, and so he did both parts, and he kept switching voices. So he'd go, "Shorty, you're my angel," and like he'd get the Shaggy, and like he was.
That's amazing.
He was doing it by himself, and I'm like, this is, and like, because there's some quick like flip flops between the two guys in that, and so like he was like, and I'm like, wow, guy, cool. You know, because Shaggy's got that distinctive like Kermit the Frog kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely,
yeah. So do you have like a karaoke spot? Are you like one of those
karaoke
floaters? Yeah.
I like to have a spot because I like to make a connection with the karaoke DJ so that I can be like, yo, if I'm gonna go, can you like get me in like one more before I go and stuff like that. So I do have a spot, and I like it because it starts at 7:30.
Wow.
Yeah, that's early.
So it's like
I like that. He doesn't care about how early things are.
No, it's perfect, and it's like a burger joint. So like every time I go, like I just get this nice like burger with like sauteed onions and beer cheese on it, and then so I eat this like big juicy burger, and then I'm like, this is the best.
And then you go and you sing your karaoke, and that's
fantastic.
Jim gets to hear karaoke every Thursday night.
Every Thursday night, live band
karaoke.
Oh, yeah. I've never done that.
Really? Oh, you
it's
have
fun.
to.
It's the only way to do it.
I had to find somewhere that does that, because that seems like it would be a lot of fun.
It's a good time, yeah, because you have a band behind you, so it's like things can adjust, and you get to play off the musicians too. So if you decide you want something to go longer, or if they decide they want something to go longer, you just got to roll with it.
Yeah. No, that's and I'd be down for that, like 100%. Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Well, when you're up in New York,
next time you're up in New York, you let us know.
Next time I will. No, I will. I mean, it's not outside the realm of possibility.
I'll make sure that your name gets in a few times.
Huzzah.
Another thing that we've heard about you is you like TV game shows.
Love them.
So what is your bacon when it comes to TV game shows? Are we talking like you love old school stuff, or are you into like discovering new things as well?
I like all game shows. I don't really have a bacon as far as that's concerned. I wrote my master's thesis about TV game shows.
Really?
Yes, it was a creative writing thing. It was a series
Okay.
of like nonfiction essays about just how much I love game shows. Uh, I drew cartoons in it and everything, and I'm like, whatever. Are you gonna give me a degree? It doesn't matter.
So what is it about the TV game show that does it for you? What like if you could wrap it up, because they all kind of, like they're all so very different, but they all have that similar, they're a game
Yeah,
show. There's stakes and there's contestants and there's
Yeah, I feel like okay, let's take The Price is Right for instance, because I
Okay.
watch that every day. It's one of my favorites. You got your Wheel and Jeopardy and all that stuff too, but let's take The Price is Right as like a sample for this, because people just let themselves go. They hoot, they holler, they jump up and down, they scream. They just are feeling what they're feeling in that moment and letting it happen on TV. And I feel like game shows in a lot of ways is just like a perfect snapshot of humanity. It's just people letting themselves go because they're so happy, or they're just excited to be there. Even if they lose, they're like, oh well, I got to meet Drew Carey. It's
Right.
that kind of thing. And I just love giving people a chance to shine, even if it's just for like a brief period of time. That's what I love about game shows. It's just like, and I can participate while
Right.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
watching. It's not passive TV viewing, it's active TV viewing. So like I play along with Jeopardy, I play along with Wheel. Like I like game shows that I can participate in while I'm watching too.
Do you have a game show that you think that you would do? Like, is there one that you think like, oh, I would own this show? Like if I was on it.
I would 100% own Wheel of Fortune, like no doubt about it.
Yeah.
You give me the category and I can look at it. Sometimes I'll be sitting there watching it, like they will have called one letter and I'll be like, boom, I know that. And then I sit there waiting and then they're like spinning and calling letters. I'm like, no, Susan, there's no W in that.
I definitely would love to be a fly on the wall watching Lauren heckle poor Donna for
Yeah.
picking the wrong letter.
Oh, it happens. I've put a couple up, I think, on the Beard Out Instagram of me watching like the final puzzle and wheel, and like I'm screaming what it is, and they're not getting it. They're not getting it, and then like at the end of one, I think I went, ha, 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 suck it, wheel, because I'm like,
That's amazing. Do you? So there's like Buzzer and what are some of the other ones that are on? Like not Game Show Network, but now there's free stuff on different internet TV stations and stuff,
Right.
like Pluto
Oh, yeah.
and stuff. I mean, have you dove into any of the newer ones? Anything
Not
newer?
really.
Like, yeah, some of them
Not
are pretty
really.
good. One of them
I will.
one of them that is definitely suspect, and I'm going to talk to him about it.
Yeah.
Is Idiot Test.
I haven't
Oh.
watched it yet, but
Idiot Test.
Yeah.
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have the host on in a couple of weeks,
Right.
and some of that stuff is really stretching. Some of it is really friggin' stretching. Like, come on, but some of it is good. Some of it is very clever. So there's that. Jen and I, we used to watch 21 all
I
the time
love
with
21.
Alfonso
Rivera.
Rivera.
Mhm.
That was awesome. That was a fun one. I'm trying to think of the other one. And
we got into watching The Wall, which is a more recent one,
Mhm.
which
That's
I
like-
thought it was a pretty cool show.
Yeah, it's like LeBron James's glorified Plinko.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they took everything cool about Plinko and just put it in one whole game based on it, and then they take your partner and throw them in another room, and they have to figure out what you would have guessed, and then or how well you did. And if they think you did well, they can be like, I'll keep whatever money they won. And if they don't think you did well, they can take an offer of a certain amount of money. So you could be out in the front and you could have won $1 million, and they get that offer for like 50 grand on the inside. And if they think that you didn't answer correctly, they could be like, you know what? We're taking that 50 grand. And then you just got to be like, shit.
Yeah. Oh my god. And then they're all the same with it, like half
Yeah.
the time it's couples and they're like hugging and they're like, as long as I have you, I'm the richest man
Right,
in
yeah.
the world. It doesn't
Right, like-
matter. We came here with nothing. We can leave here with nothing. And I'm like, that's not why you came here, though.
And that's not what you say when you leave.
Oh no.
That's a quiet car ride home.
Oh yeah.
I love the old match games.
Oh,
Anything
yes.
anything Richard Dawson.
I
mean,
love
yeah, yeah.
him.
He's such a-
I love him.
Like right now, I mean he would just not fly.
oh, he'd
Right.
get me too.
Me
to
too
death.
Immediately, yeah.
But man, what a charming motherfucker.
Right? In my master's thesis, I actually wrote a very impassioned love letter to Richard Dawson, and I believe it contained the phrase heaving bosoms and red carnation, like my heaving bosoms near his red carnation. And I read that out loud when I was defending my thesis. And like there was one woman in the back, she was like fanning herself with my Richard Dawson love
He was so great.
Touching hearts.
And at Family Feud, he would just
Oh,
kiss every woman on the lips.
Yep.
right on the lips.
She
Yeah.
could be 87
Oh yeah.
or she could be 13.
Yeah,
It
he's,
didn't
Yeah,
matter.
he's a lip kisser.
Does not
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah, he was a crazy guy. He was great. He was great.
I love it. I went because I had started writing that, and then he passed away, and the sheer amount of like people that reached out to me when Richard Dawson passed away to make sure I was okay was like astounding. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. But oh my lord, yeah, he's so good on that. I mean, I love the whole like the panel show, like the match game, with all of
Yeah.
that, because you've got Charles Nelson Riley, obviously fantastic. Betty
Oh my
White
God,
was
he's
on the
amazing.
panel
Yep.
a whole
Yep.
lot, and then I'm gonna say this because I say this like in real life and stuff. Gene Rayburn, the host of the original match game, he looks like he smells like cat pee. Is it just me?
I never thought about it, but yeah, I think so.
Right? Like I look at
He's
him and I go, there's just something cat pee about you. I like him, but like,
I'm gonna use that now.
Something cat pee about you.
There's something cat pee about
I'm
you.
gonna use that too.
Yeah, because I like
you should
that's
put
a
that.
thing.
You should put that on a shirt.
That is
there's something
yeah.
cat pee about you.
You need to
Some cat pee about that guy.
because, but like that's a thing. That's totally a thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You
100%.
can look at somebody or you can smell somebody. And
Well, yeah.
yeah, there's something cat pee about them.
There's something cat
That's
pee
the
about
thing.
that guy.
Oh,
I
that's-
support this.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's entering my vernacular.
Yeah. Put it right there in the lexicon. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh my lord.
So, do you think that there is do you have a game like a game show that you think doesn't get enough love, that you think is better than what it got? And I'm asking specifically because I have one. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you have one.
Yeah, I feel like they've done a good job rebooting a lot of the classic game shows. Like you've got a reboot of Pyramid, you got a reboot of Match Game, you got a reboot of Press Your Luck, which was already rebooted with Whammy, the new Press Your Luck, hosted by Todd Newton, who kissed me on the mouth, by the way.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
See,
That was
press
the
your
thing.
luck.
Did you push him off and go no whammy?
No, it was a whole thing. I went to a Price is Right live event, like at the theater downtown, and he was the host of the traveling Price is Right show. And I got called up on stage like while they were like changing set pieces around because he liked my t-shirt. And he did this whole bit where he talked to me about Richard Dawson and stuff like that and blah, 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 blah. And then he was like, well, I'm going to turn the tables. He's like, how about you kiss me on the cheek? And so he held his cheek out and I went in to kiss him on the
and he
cheek,
did
and he
the-
turned, he did
Wow.
the
He did the
turn real quick.
The turn
And-
move.
Todd Newton kissed me on the mouth.
That's great.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like,
I mean,
okay.
all right.
Like, yeah, all right. That's okay. I mean, I like Todd Newton, but where was I going with this? You asked me what game show I thought
Didn't get enough love.
didn't get enough love. I really like Password. And I feel like if they're gonna reboot a classic show, reboot Password, please, because I really like that show.
Nice.
I'm trying to think that
I like that.
that's-
I like that.
Yeah, that's like one of the original. That's like
Press Your Luck
You
is
could watch
actually
your
mine
first-
because even though they rebooted it, I just think not enough people. I
love
think
it.
that should be one of those top game shows.
Yeah.
I think it should have lasted as long. It should have. continued. It should it was the one that when I was a little kid, that's what I loved watching. That was my favorite.
Oh, yeah, I like that one. I used to love Supermarket Sweep.
Oh my
That's a
God,
good
they
one,
brought
too.
that back
Yeah, they
with
brought that
Leslie
back.
Jones.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I haven't watched that, but the originals, there is a whole channel on Pluto.tv that is just that 24 hours a day.
Really?
And yes. And it is amazing and awesome and so cool to like see all these 90s versions of like of the old products in the supermarkets and the old taglines and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. I highly recommend it. Pluto.tv.
Nice.
Not a
Pluto.tv.
sponsor.
Yeah, it is pretty good. I jump on there every now and then. I also wanted to ask, I mean, speaking of people liking your shirts, you do wear a different Weird Al shirt every day.
I do.
So my question to you is, are there any Weird Al shirts that you know exist that you do not have?
Yes. Oh, for sure. Like there's tons of, I have about 50. Okay. And some of them are like sanctioned Weird Al merchandise, and then some aren't, stuff I've got from like artists on like TeePublic or Etsy, things like that are what I call my tangential shirts, which is like pictures of lines from songs and things that are just kind of goofy like that. But yeah, like there's a ton of concert tees I don't have. Like I don't have the Amish Paradise t-shirt, like anything pre 1999 tour I don't have.
Okay.
So like there's plenty of stuff, and I troll eBay a little bit just to see if there's something I don't have that like is in a size that I would wear that is at a decent price point. I'm like, okay, that I could add to my arsenal.
Is there a holy grail of Weird Al merch or something that like that you would love to have, or that you're looking for, that you kind of have on your checklist?
That I would love to have. I would love to have a squeeze, the squeeze box, the complete works of Weird Al vinyl collection in the box that looks like an accordion.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have that because when it was released, it was like $600 or $700 or whatever, and I didn't have that at the time. And I'm real like unhappy that I don't have that. I feel like I'm the kind of person that should have that. But there is an episode of the Beard Owl podcast where I did talk to somebody who does have it, and I was like, I am jealous of you, my friend. So yeah, that was, so there is an episode of that. I think that came out in like November or something. It's with Russ from the Infectious Groove podcast. He has it because he's got like this crazy vinyl collection. And I was like, can you just like tell me about it and like talk to me about it? Please. Like, I just want to know like what it's like to have this thing that I don't have, that I can't have because it's out of print. And like people are selling them on eBay for like $2,000. And I'm like, nah.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
I was like when someone does put out a box set, when they do something creative like that with it, though, like that. I've seen that one, and it's awesome. And then I also
won a Grammy for it. He won a Grammy for it, for the packaging. Yeah.
I thought that was incredible. Like I love when that extra effort is put in. I recently I was at when I was home for the holidays in Indiana, I went to the old record store that I grew up going to all the time, and they had a Tori Amos box set that came in like a little piano.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
And I was like, this is awesome. And you could like play around on the keys and stuff. And it's this little piano box set.
Neato.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I thought it was super cool. I was like, man, what a great thing. Other than seeing like, here's the box. Yeah. It's a set.
Yeah, look at this set of a box. Yeah,
right. It comes with a pewter sculpture. Like, no, make the box into something. Let me see something.
I like that. I do like that, and that is an acceptable type of vinyl. I don't accept all types of vinyl, but
right,
that type of vinyl is good. We've had it's a whole thing. So with that said, maybe with some of the funds that we get from some of our sponsors, we can invest in a new Weird Al box set.
Oh yeah. I would do
that. So what we have to do is pay some bills. Or pay some of the Weird Al
box set fund
now with a sponsor of ours called Poddex.
Yeah.
What Poddex is it's like icebreakers. It's something for new and budding podcasters, icebreakers, things like that. Each deck comes with 50 cards, and it comes with a topic or a question or whatever it may be. And what we like to do is have our guest pick which deck, and then you're going to pick which card in that deck you're going to answer the question from.
Random questions.
Random question.
Oh, so I pick a deck.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Mike's going to run through the decks
the
for
decks that they have are the episode deck. There's interview deck 1, interview deck 2. There is what the heck. There's would you rather. They have the 2 new ones, which are really cool. They have the how dare you set, which you have to say like that. If you don't say it like that, you will not get it. Okay. And there's the what the fuck deck, which is like the old school MTV,
but upside down.
Which I think you should have to say. What the fuck? What the fuck? I think that's how you should have to say that.
Yeah. Well, we have it with 1. I don't think we should have it with 2, but whatever. Yeah. Whatever. So, Lauren, which deck would you like to pick from?
I'm gonna go with the what the fuck deck because because Al TV is a thing that looks like the MTV logo, and
I
so
remember
does that
that
also. So I have an Al TV tank top.
Nice.
That's
I live in Florida, so I had to get a couple like tank tops for like hot days.
Right.
So
They do make those. They do make those there.
So I'll get the Al TV tank top. You should see me at the gym. People are like, "What the heck is that?" I'm like, "Oh, you don't understand."
It's too young.
I want a UHF shirt.
Like UHF. Yeah, I have shirts like about UHF. Like I have a Stanley Spadowski t-shirt.
I've seen a Stanley Spadowski shirt.
I have that. There's a couple other ones. I have a Save Our Station, like for the telethon t-shirt. I have a Raoul's Wild. Yeah, I have a Raoul's Wild Kingdom t-shirt. I want to get a Noodles Macintosh shirt with the little tiny
that would be
cameraman.
awesome. The little cameraman.
Yeah, so they have that. So there's a couple UHF themed shirts that I have. But just honestly, go to the Beard Owl Podcast Twitter, and you will see every single Beard Owl shirt that I have.
And everyone should go to the Beard Owl Podcast Twitter. Yeah. But I will also explain where they can get these pod decks. While Mike's shuffling, I will say that if you go to poddex.com, you can pick up any one of these decks. You can pick up a combination of a couple of them. They're always coming out with new stuff. They also have an app. It's a cool site. They have merch, all kinds of stuff. And if you put together a little card of things that you want, go in that little discount code area and put in the promo code BACON.
Because everything is better with bacon.
And you'll get 10% off your entire order.
Yes. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fan it.
Yep, they are fanned. I'm going to take the finger of power, and I'm going to go from my left to right, your right to left. You tell me when to stop, and we will have your question.
Stop.
All right. Lauren from the Beard Owl Podcast.
Oh, no. What did I do?
You picked the questions.
I did. I guess I did.
What is the strangest place that you've urinated or defecated?
Oh, okay. All right. I can actually answer this.
Story time with Lauren.
Yeah.
Oh, this is such a terrible story. So one time I used to host bar trivia, right? And I would do it like right after work because the bar was like closer to the office than to like home and stuff. But I had about like a 25-minute ride on like a highway to get home from hosting this bar trivia. Well, there was an accident and traffic was at a dead stop. And I'd had a couple of beers, and like, if anybody who knows me knows that like once I break the seal, that's it. And I was like, I can make it 25 minutes home. Well, I ended up being stuck in traffic on like the Beltway for like an hour and a half. And I'm like, and there was nowhere to go because like it's the Beltway. So there's no like, pull over, like run off into the woods type situation or anything like that. But I had a beach towel in the car. And I will leave it at that. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to grab this beach towel. I'm like, I'm just going to just there was no
Let it go.
let it go. And so that would probably be the weirdest, I think, for me. It was not my proudest moment, but it was like necessary.
A necessity. Necessity is the mother of invention. My question to you is, do you still have that beach towel, or did that go out the window immediately?
That it's gone now. And like it wasn't like a good beach towel. It was a beach towel that I'd used like for it's just another thing that I do. Like I used to do like pottery like on wheel and stuff. And so so it was like an old like ratty beach towel anyway that I just had in the car to take to pottery class. And so I was like, well, I don't miss that towel.
Well, you are a crafty person. You're very creative and very crafty. One of the other crafty things you do is you're a happy hooker.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I am a happy hooker.
So first off, like what got you about crocheting, and what made you decide that you actually wanted to teach it?
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I love crocheting. One might say that I'm hooked on it.
Oh, I see what you did there.
See what you did.
Oh, brother. No, so I was like 17 or whatever, and my mom and I went to a class at the local craft store just to learn how to crochet. And I caught on to it like pretty quick, and it ended up being you just took sips simultaneously, and it was like very like, a lot for me.
It's what we do.
Sometimes we're in sync.
Well, yeah, you were. And anyway, I found that like once I got the hang of crocheting and like understanding it, it was like a good just like zen out kind of thing for me to do. And a couple of weeks ago, we had like a weird cold Florida day. So I was wearing like a cute little hat that I'd crocheted years ago. And I went out and I went to my beer place. And this one girl was like, oh my God, where did you get that hat? And I was like, I made it. And one thing led to another because the owner of the beer place was working that day. He's like, let's do a crochet class. And I'm like, okay. So like I went out, I bought some yarn and some crochet hooks. And so like people paid their fee. They got like a beer, they got a ball of yarn, they got a crochet hook, and they got my time with them. And I had a blast, because I teach college anyway. So I know I can teach things to people.
Yeah.
So what was really cool about it to me was both of these women that showed up for it had tried learning crochet from YouTube before and just got really frustrated. And I was able to show them and then like fix mistakes that they were making as they were making them and be like, no, do it this way instead of that way. And they're like, oh, and I just there were light bulb moments everywhere. And I was like,
isn't that the best when you're teaching something?
It felt so good. And like they both came out with like something that was, about like 8 inches long and a good like 3 or 4 inches high. Like just, it was cotton yarn. So like the end goal for them really is like little like dishcloth type situation.
Yeah, it's the banana hammock.
Yeah, right. It's a good place to start. But like they were both really getting the hang of it. And I was like, man, like so I kept the excess yarn that I got for it because the beer place reimbursed me for purchasing the supplies. They're like, oh, we'll do it again. And if the people that were already there want to come back and learn some like more advanced techniques, like how to make a hat, how to do this in a circle instead of a square, that kind of thing. And then for new people or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do it again. I like beer and I like crocheting. So
that's awesome.
That's awesome. That's, I almost feel like that's better than, those paint nights. Cause then you like get something more than a crappy painting.
Right.
I'm transferring a skill, right?
Yes. Right, exactly. That's huge.
And that's it. Like both of these, like I said, both of these women were like, oh, I get this. Like this makes sense to me now. And I'm like, thank you. So like now you can go to YouTube because you understand the basics. Like you build your chain, which is the foundation, and then you make one more chain, which is your ladder, and then you do your stitches, and then you make a ladder up and you do your stitches. And they're like, oh, it's like you're going upstairs. And I'm like, yes. You just go, it's like Donkey Kong, like crochet is very much like Donkey Kong. Like you're like, oh, there's the ladder. Now I got to go across this way, up and go across that way. Except there's no like,
flaming barrels. Yeah.
Flaming barrels.
No, there's no flaming barrels in crochet.
Every drink is like a flaming barrel you have to jump over.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun. But like I have so much yarn. and I live in Florida, and like, how often am I going to wear a hat or a scarf?
Right.
I just like crocheting so much, so I have to
Well,
figure out
you
like.
can make some stuff and sell it from the Beard Owl podcast. You could
I guess I could.
some
I
logo,
guess I could.
some logo scarves to sell up here, sell up in this area.
Right? Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Who knows what I'll do? But
Do you
I
have
like
a thing that you've made that's like your favorite thing that you've made?
oh yeah, I do. It was the first Thanksgiving I lived in Florida. I was by myself. I'd gone out with a couple of friends bowling on Thanksgiving Day, and then I came home and I looked at all of the yarn that I had left, and I was like, I have so many bits and pieces of all of this leftover yarn that is not enough to do anything with each thing. So I made a blanket with no rhyme or reason. I just picked up some yarn and I started going until that ran out. And then I grabbed something random and I started going until that ran out. It's the most ridiculous looking thing in the entire world, but it is like my magnum opus.
Piece de resistance.
Yeah.
Nice. And there's no other like it.
Right.
There is no,
It's
and
one of a kind.
there will never be again. It's a series of textures and colors and stripes that just like end randomly and something else starts up. It's ridiculous.
Oh, that's
But
amazing.
it's a thing. People do it. It's called a scrap Afghan, where you just like use your scraps and make an Afghan.
Yeah.
So
A scrap Afghan.
it's a scrap Afghan.
A scrap can.
A
It's a scrap can. Yeah.
It's a scrap can.
Yeah. It's
I
a
like
scrap.
that.
It's a scrap can Joe. Is it
Nice.
Scatman?
Yeah. It's got my job. Ba-ba-ba-da-boop.
I had my kids listen to that because they were like doing this, and I was like, "Oh, there's a song just like it," and they turned to me and they're like, "What is this? This is
It's
awful."
amazing. It's
I was like,
amazing.
"What?
Are you kidding?
Get out of my house!" That's amazing.
Awesome. Well, this has been super cool. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for hanging out with us. We are going to wrap it up because I just looked and we could talk to you for another 2 hours because this is flying by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're taking up a lot of your time. So thank you.
No. I mean, take up as much time of mine as you want. I don't care.
Well, we'll definitely do this again because
Yeah.
I would love to do it again, and I'd love to have you back on Beard Owl again too. So
yeah, let's do it. Let's keep it going.
Let's have your people talk to our people. Well, you know.
It's like the most fun ping pong game ever. It'll be
Yeah.
great.
I am my people. I will talk to you.
Maybe we could talk about Weird Al medleys that he
Oh.
that he like the
polkas?
current music medleys. Yeah.
Oh,
Hmm.
there's a lot we could talk about. There's a lot
Yeah.
we could do. I think.
Just saying. There's
I
a
think
lot of
it's
meat
good.
on that bone.
There is.
Yeah.
So everybody stay tuned.
Indeed.
Before we let you go, please let everybody know one more time where they can find you, where they can find the podcast, where they can listen to you, and maybe where they can buy some cool scrap cans.
Yeah.
Oh my God, could you imagine? Yeah, you can find the Beard Owl podcast at beardowlpodcast.com. That's beer like the drink, podcast.com. And it's also at Beard Owl Podcast on Twitter, at Beard Owl Podcast on Instagram, facebook.com/Beard Owl Podcast. And yeah, we're on all your big like podcasts, things that are there. And, so if you want to hear me talk about my two favorite things in the world, beer and Weird Al, with my brother and other people such as these two fine gentlemen, then please swing on by.
It's definitely
Thank
a good
you.
time. It's
Yeah.
definitely worth a listen. It's definitely worth a good time. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It's always a blast, and I can't wait to do it I can't wait to do it again next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
And
it'll
until then,
Yes.
everyone listening, remember to ask yourself the most important question. The
Lauren,
one question.
Were you paying attention?
Do you know what that
Do
question
you know what that
is?
question is?
Is it, what's your bacon?
What's
It
your
is!
bacon? Welcome back.
Yeah, that was a great interview.
That was a really great interview.
It was a lot of fun. It was awesome speaking with Lauren. We're definitely going to have her on again. And you got a sneak peek of... Oh, no, we didn't record that. We didn't record that part. But
Yeah.
there will be a future
Stay tuned.
episode.
Secrets.
She will be back.
Yeah.
We already have it worked out. Thank you again for checking out the podcast. Thank you, Lauren, for coming and hanging out with us. Make sure you go check her out at Beard Owl Podcast.
Yeah.
Jim, where can they find you, though?
Well, you can find me, Jimmy G Shoes, out on the socials. Definitely check it out. And you can find my band Craving Strange at cravingstrange.net, which will give you links to all of our socials.
Yes.
But also make sure and go to baconismypodcast.com, where you can check out all of our sponsors and find links and promo codes and all that kind of fun stuff. Plus, you can find episodes. You can find our merch at Bacon is My Fashion.
Indeed.
A lot of cool stuff on there. So definitely just check it out. Check out our music on there too.
Yeah.
Bacon is My Passion songs.
Indeed.
And how about you? Where can they find you?
So me personally, you can find me at Me My Own Self Mike on all things Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, because I'm old and old people use Facebook, apparently. That's what I was told.
I've been told that too.
I've been told that. And also, I am in a band that is called Something Heavy, and you can check our music out on all of the streaming platforms, and check us out on social media at Something Heavy Music, and yeah, that's about it, man.
Yeah.
I think this was a solid episode.
I think it was super fun.
I think we should do it again.
I think so too.
Maybe you should come back next week for another rousing edition.
Stupendous.
Splendiferous, if you will.
Fantastical.
I like that one too. Thank you for coming and checking out Bacon is My Podcast. And please always make sure you're asking yourself this every single day.
The only question that matters. The most important question of your life. Maybe not. Maybe I'm overselling it. But still, what's your bacon? Cool. So we got a new sponsor.
Yeah, sweet balls, bro.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Yours are seeming very clean as well,
Yeah,
from what I hear.
from what you hear. Yes.
From what I hear.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can guess by that conversation that our new sponsor is MANSCAPED.
Yes, MANSCAPED, a company that I'm very familiar with.
Me too.
A few years now. I've been using their products, and I tell you what, my marbles have never been shinier.
Yeah, actually, it's funny because I actually got their lawnmower 3.0.
Yes,
Which it has skin safe technology, and they've just upgraded to the 4.0. And let me tell you, I love the 3.0, but the 4.0 is just so much better. It's got a light on it. Like when you're shaving down there, you're like, do I really need a light? Yes, you do.
visual aids.
Yeah,
visual aids
you
are
absolutely
important
do.
sometimes,
For sure.
Sometimes in those crevices, that upper leg, inner crease.
Yes, agreed.
It's a tough spot.
Agreed.
It's a tough spot to get. So the Perfect Package 4.0 contains the Lawnmower 4.0.
Yes.
But one of the things that I am a big fan of is the Crop Reviver, as
yes.
they call it. It is they call it the Ball Spray Toner.
Yes. So it's
Those marbles.
it's pretty great because it's midday spritz, if
Yeah.
you will. You know, you had a rough day, you finish work, but you want to feel your best and all that kind of stuff. And just
pH
go ahead.
balanced. It's a nice
pH balance.
cooling little
Yeah.
mist. I keep it in my bag.
Yeah. Absolutely. What else is in the Perfect package as well is the ball deodorant.
Yes,
It's the Crop Preserver. It's an anti-chafing. So when you walk a lot, I don't know about you, but sometimes I get the chafing. I should probably lose weight, but instead I use this.
Yeah. Wearing black is better than working out. You know?
Exactly.
It's one of those things. But yeah, definitely. I've done every dude that has been out in the heat in a pair of jeans has been like, life sucks right now. Life sucks. This is awful. This actually does work and does help.
Yeah.
So those things as well. I'm just a fan. I've always been a fan. I was super excited when you told me that we got the email from them saying that we could now offer a discount to our listeners.
Yes.
I thought that was super cool. So
And men and women can use it too.
absolutely. It's not just a man thing.
Right.
You can totally share it.
The lawnmower does work for the ladies.
It does.
Yeah. So if you want, you can get 20% off.
Yeah.
Your
20%
order
is
now.
a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Pretty awesome.
Use the promo code BaconPod. You get 20% off at manscaped.com. I highly recommend the boxers, which is a free gift in the Perfect Package 4.0. The boxers are really awesome for guys. I use the cologne. I really like their cologne. I like the mop, crop mop.
That's
the crop mop is a
it's my second favorite product from them.
yes,
It's the lawnmower. The crop mop is like, it's baby wipes, but they are scented and pH balanced for non-babies, for adult marbles.
Exactly. So go ahead to manscaped.com, save yourself 20%.
Yeah.
Use the promo code bacon
Pod. Yeah.
Right. And make your marbles clean
20%
and
off.
shiny.
That's killer. Also sign up for their monthly deliveries. You can go in there and you can change products all the time. They'll send you new razors, they'll send you new blades, all that kind of good stuff. Check it out, manscaped.com. Highly recommended and used by your boys here at Bacon Is My Podcast. Like I said, keep those marbles shiny.
Whoop, whoop.
Mm-hmm.